In the future, humanity may leave the Earth behind and search for a new home in space. But where? Our solar system is a dangerous place. There are fiery volcanic worlds, planets with 1,400-mile-an-hour winds, clouds of deadly acid, temperatures hot enough to melt lead. Among these violent worlds, are there planets where we could one day live? We're on a voyage to find out, to explore the planets in our solar system and beyond. Our mission, to hunt for new worlds, to find a place that one day we might call home. Imagine a city with 200 billion stars, so vast that a jumbo jet would take 100 billion years to cross it. We call it the Milky Way. On the outer edges of one of 6 spiral arms is our own star, the Sun, and its orbiting planets. One planet has life, Earth, with its oxygen-rich atmosphere and oceans of water. Life can flourish here. But our world is changing. Climate change is melting the polar ice caps. Sea levels are rising. Over the next millennia, land may disappear under the oceans. Vast areas could become uninhabitable, making the planet dangerously overcrowded. We'll need more space if we're all to survive. This is a journey through the solar system and beyond, hunting for our next home. We'll discover a surprising planet that could support life in its atmosphere.
It is a comfortable temperature and pressure. I think that life could exist.
But there are also deadly worlds where we stand no chance of surviving.
You couldn't just fly through the system and survive. You would fry up.
Finding a new home is not going to be easy. We evolved on Earth. Where else will we find a planet we can even survive? Our journey begins with Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun. Data reveals it has an atmosphere with traces of oxygen. But could it sustain human life? Mercury rotates very slowly. A day here lasts 58 Earth days. The dark side faces away from the Sun for so long, the temperature plummets to a staggering 300 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. Around 3 times lower than the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth. At the same time, the side facing the Sun can hit a scorching 840 degrees, as hot as a blowtorch. A temperature so brutal that almost all Mercury's atmosphere long ago evaporated into space. What oxygen is left is extraordinarily thin. There simply isn't enough of it for us to breathe. There have to be easier places for us to survive. Maybe we just need to be further from the Sun. The next planet out is Venus. Venus is a close neighbor of Earth, about 26 million miles away. It is shrouded in a thick atmosphere that completely hides the surface from view. Scientists used to think that would protect the planet from the sun. They imagined Venus's surface to be like early Earth, that tropical forests covered the land and oceans of water lapped the shores. Professor David Grinspoon is an astrobiologist at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, specializing in the evolution of Venus.
People assumed that it was sort of a dripping wet place, and in fact the image of a sort of tropical paradise with tree ferns and maybe even dinosaurs, a kind of primitive tropical Earth-like place, was the common scientific view of Venus really right up until the beginning of the space age.
The Venusian surface intrigued scientists. What was really going on beneath the clouds? In the 1960s and 70s, while NASA explored Mars, the Soviet Union turned its sights on Venus. The goal was to land and photograph the planet's mysterious surface. Codenamed Venera, the Soviet program made countless successful launches, only to mysteriously lose contact with its probes as they entered the Venusian atmosphere. But in October 1975, the team hit gold. Venera 9 beamed back the world's first surface images of Venus. Rather than a lush green world, Venus was a barren desert. Could humans survive here? Recently, astronomers have built up a detailed picture of Venus's atmosphere. Imagine a probe hurtling toward the planet. What would it see? 50 miles above the surface, it hits a thick layer of cloud. But this is no ordinary cloud. It's made of vaporized acid, corrosive enough to burn through steel. Scientists believe that the acid clouds are a byproduct of Venus's violent history. Gigantic volcanic eruptions blasted billions of tons of sulfur high into the atmosphere. There, it mixed with water vapor to form concentrated sulfuric acid. As the probe breaks through the upper atmosphere, it slows to make a low pass over the surface. The terrain is dominated by dormant volcanoes that tower 3 miles into the atmosphere. Deep channels, forged a million years ago by molten lava, stretch thousands of miles, one longer even than the River Nile. Probe sensors reveal an atmospheric pressure 90 times greater than on Earth, large enough to crush a car. But the biggest problem is temperature. The atmosphere is nearly all carbon dioxide. Just like on Earth, this gas acts like a pane of glass in a greenhouse, letting the light through, but not the heat out. On Earth, increased carbon dioxide levels are causing small rises in temperature. But on Venus, they have pushed the temperature to over 900 degrees Fahrenheit. But surprisingly, although the surface is hot enough to melt lead, Venus may not be an entirely lifeless world. Billions of years ago, primeval Venusian oceans could have been home to simple organisms. Some scientists believe that when the temperature climbed, the waters boiled away. This would have killed many of the organisms. But some